Every evening at exactly 9 p.m., the small alarm on Ayan's old phone would ring. Not for a call, not for a message, but for a promise he made to himself. 1 hour, no matter what. Ayan was an ordinary office clerk in a crowded city. His days looked the same. Wake up early, rush for the bus, sit behind a desk, enter numbers, come home tired, scroll on his phone, sleep, repeat. Nothing exciting, nothing different, just routine. One Monday morning, his manager called him into the office. "Ayan, you're a hard worker," the manager said, "but you need to improve your skills. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to grow here." The words were polite, but the meaning was clear. He was stuck. That evening, Ayan sat quietly on the rooftop of his building. The city lights blinked in the distance. He thought about his life. He wasn't unhappy, but he wasn't moving forward either. Days were passing, and he was exactly where he had been a year ago. He whispered to himself, "Something has to change, but where do I start?" He didn't have money for expensive courses. He didn't have extra time. Or at least that's what he thought. Later that night, while scrolling through videos, he heard a simple line: "Give 1 focused hour every day to your future." The idea sounded too small to matter. 1 hour? Could that really change anything? Still, something about it stayed in his mind. The next day, he set an alarm for 9 p.m. When the alarm rang, he almost ignored it. He was tired. His eyes felt heavy, but he remembered his promise. He opened his old laptop and searched for free lessons on basic computer skills. That first hour felt long. He struggled to concentrate. He checked his phone twice, but he finished 1 short lesson. Day 1, completed. The next evening, the alarm rang again. This time he sighed, but sat down anyway. He learned about spreadsheets. It was confusing, but he kept trying. Day 2, completed. By the end of the week, Ayan had completed 7 hours of learning. It didn't feel like much, but he noticed something. He was beginning to understand things he once ignored at work. On day 10, he created his first proper spreadsheet. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. On day 15, he helped a colleague fix a small formatting problem. The colleague looked surprised. "You learned this?" Ayan just smiled. But the journey wasn't easy. Some nights he felt exhausted. Some nights guests came over. Some nights he wanted to skip. Yet every time the alarm rang and reminded him of his promise. One rainy evening, he almost turned it off. "Just today," he said to himself. Then he paused. "If I skip today, I'll skip tomorrow." He sat down and studied, even though his mind wasn't fully focused. Day 21, completed. Slowly, 1 hour became a habit. He started looking forward to it. That 1 hour felt different from the rest of his day. It felt like progress. After a month, his manager noticed something unusual. "Ayan, you finished this report faster than usual." He said, "Yes, sir." Ayan replied quietly. 2 months passed. Ayan continued his 1 hour routine. He learned shortcuts, formulas, and small tricks that made his work easier. He even started writing down goals for the next hour. But he had no idea that this simple habit was about to change everything. One evening, while working late at the office, he overheard 2 senior employees talking. "We need someone to handle the new data project," one of them said, "but it requires good spreadsheet skills." Ayan's heart skipped a beat. He looked at the clock. 8:59 p.m. His phone alarm rang softly, and in that moment, he realized the 1 hour he had been giving every day might finally be about to open a door he never imagined. Ayan's phone alarm kept ringing softly in his pocket, but this time he didn't silence it. Instead, he looked at the 2 senior employees discussing the new data project. His mind raced. He had been practicing exactly those skills for weeks. He took a deep breath and walked toward them. "Sir, I think I can help," he said, his voice slightly nervous. Both men looked at him, surprised. One of them asked, "This project isn't simple." Ion nodded. "I've been learning every day." They exchanged glances. "All right," one of them said finally, "prepare a sample sheet by tomorrow morning. If it works, we'll consider you." That night, Ion didn't wait for 9 p.m. He rushed home, opened his laptop, and started working. This wasn't just practice anymore. This was an opportunity. Hours passed. He built tables, added formulas, corrected errors, and redesigned everything again. At one point, he felt stuck and almost gave up, but then he remembered all those evenings he had pushed through. Around midnight, he leaned back and looked at the screen. It wasn't perfect, but it was his best work. The next morning, he submitted it quietly and returned to his desk, trying to act normal. Inside, he was anxious. By noon, his manager called him in. "We reviewed your sample," the manager said. "Did you really create this yourself?" "Yes, sir." The manager smiled slightly. "It's impressive. You'll assist with the project." Those words felt unreal. Ion thanked him and walked out, his heart pounding. The same office that once felt routine now felt full of possibility. For the next 2 weeks, Ion worked on the new project alongside senior staff. At first, he made small mistakes, but he learned quickly. Every evening, he still followed his 1-hour rule, improving whatever he struggled with during the day. Gradually, his confidence grew. He suggested small improvements. He automated repetitive tasks. The team noticed. One afternoon, the project lead said, "Ion, this shortcut you created saved us hours." Ion smiled. "I learned it recently." When the project finished, it was completed ahead of schedule. The management was pleased. During the weekly meeting, the manager made an announcement. "I want to appreciate Ion. His contribution made a big difference." The room filled with applause. Ion felt his face warm, but inside he felt proud, not just of the recognition, but of the journey. A few days later, he received an email. His hands trembled slightly as he opened it. It was a promotion. His role was upgraded, and his salary increased. It wasn't just a financial change. It was proof that his small habit had worked. That evening, Ion went back to the rooftop where he once sat confused about his future. The city lights looked the same, but he felt different, stronger, clearer. He opened his phone and looked at the 9 p.m. alarm. Instead of deleting it, he renamed it. Your future, 1 hour. Months passed. Ion didn't stop. He started learning advanced skills, then basic coding, then data visualization. 1 hour turned into a lifestyle. Sometimes he studied more, but he never skipped the minimum. A new employee joined the office. Nervous, unsure, just like Ion once was. The young man asked him, "Sir, how did you grow so fast?" Ion smiled and replied, "I didn't grow fast. I grew 1 hour at a time." Years later, Ion was leading a full team. On his office wall hung a small sticky note that read, "Small, consistent effort beats big occasional effort." People often asked him for the secret of his success. He always gave the same answer. "I didn't change my whole life in one day. I only changed 1 hour, and that 1 hour changed everything."